Another week of racing ahead at Santa Anita. Let's talk about Friday racing at Santa Anita. Like always, I'm looking at the daily racing form, past performances, drf.com, the place to go anytime you need help researching, and then DRF bets when you want to go make a wager on any of these races. So let's just kind of run through the card on Friday and some of my thoughts. I was hoping for a little bit better price in race number 1 on the 5, and it doesn't look like we're going to get it. So I'll just keep an eye on where California Bay ends up. I thought his debut was pretty good. He missed a break. He was about 8-10 lengths off or so, and then he moved through inside, and he was kind of tipped out. Some really nice late energy for fourth, and a big gallop out. And there's a lot of turf, like solid turf runners in this pedigree. The Dam didn't win on the grass, but was actually pretty competitive on it. And then when you dive into a lot of the direct siblings, you just see a ton of winners up and down here, horses with really good turf success. We have, Warden Jerry was an 8-time winner on the turf. Tamarando was a classy horse, didn't win on the grass, but was good on the synthetic. Luckerack was very good. Tamarack Smarty, really solid on the turf. Unarak, really good. Look at this turf pedigree. So we can expect California Bay to be a nice horse on the grass, and I think he will enjoy stretching out here, going longer, because that's what you see from all the pedigree too. All siblings that are long on the turf, that's where they had their best success. 3-1's a tad short. He's probably going to be even shorter than that. If he's anywhere near 3-1, that's fair. I wanted a little bit more than that, than we're probably going to get from as far as the price is concerned. In the second race, Santa Anita, $20,000 claimers here. There were a couple that I thought were interesting, and the one that I'll probably play would be the 5 Indy Star based on the price here. This is a 4-year-old filly who's going to return to the dirt. She was over at Turf Paradise on the turf most recently, and she's been running really well, going a little bit longer, going 1 mile and 7.5 furlongs. You'll notice, though, when she's been on the dirt, her last couple of dirt races were also very good. Going 1 mile, she won impressively by 7.25 lengths. Going 5.5 furlongs, she moved and then finished second in that race, and it was not bad at all. So I think she's just a better horse now than where she was earlier on in her career. And I like the fact that she's going to be able to cut back here, drawn on the outside. That should give her some options because she has speed, but I don't think she's probably going to be on the lead in here, sprinting on the dirt with the 2 inside horses. They're both probably a little bit faster than her. Henny's Crazy Train and Bella Ranella. So I'd love to see Indy Star sitting third on the outside, cutting back with a little more fitness. We've seen that she can sit off and pass horses if need be. Look at the 5 furlong turf sprint at Canterbury where she came from off the pace. I'd love to see something like that, but maybe even sitting a little closer in here. The number 5, Indy Star, is 5-1 on the morning line. We need like around 4. I wouldn't want to take much shorter than that on her. Let's go to the third race. Again, it's not the biggest field in the world. There are 2 horses that I think are intriguing. Doesn't look like there's that much speed. So Cane Creek Road could be tough if he's ready to rock. Last we saw him was on August the 27th in a race where he was claimed, but the claim was voided. And prior to that, he was off for a few months. So there's not a lot of recent form for him. He should be the horse to catch by far. The one I think is the play is the 5 Redline, because Redline could be sitting just behind Cane Creek Road. Now, it looks like Cane Creek Road is much faster, but Redline's actually coming out of some really quick sprint races where they've been going way faster to the first quarter and to the half mile. And I think Redline will be much more forwardly placed in here. If you look at the only time on the page that we've seen Redline go longer, he was sitting second, much closer up. I think we're going to get that here, especially with a rider like Vasquez, who's very aggressive. Now, Redline's turf races have been very good. Overall, turf form has been excellent. Just look at his recent form. He's been second in 3 of his last 4 races. When he wasn't second, it was in a first level allowance race where he had some legitimate trouble at the start. And the race has actually come back strong and come back live because we've seen Noble Reflection come out of that race to win, and then went over and tried the grade 2 turf sprint and was only beaten a couple lengths in that race, was 4th and ran really well. Forgiving Spirit is a horse who put together a couple victories and was in nice form. And then recently was a close up fourth in a first level allowance race. I think Redline is well spotted, sits second in here, just behind Cane Creek Road. Hopes that Cane Creek Road gets a little bit short coming off the bench. Redline exiting a very strong race where we've seen a couple horses already come back to win next time out. Strike That came back to win their next start. Took Charge, came back to win their next start. Small field, but perhaps we can get a decent price in here on Redline, who's 5-1. I'd take anything over 7-2 on Redline. Let's continue along at Santa Anita on Friday. Let's move to the 5th race. That's where we were next in the 5th. So I'm going to look to the number 6 in here, Miss Polo Bar. Career debut, shows good speed, right on the front end, fades, finishes 4th. Not a bad effort, beating a couple lengths. Let's take a look at the second start. This one was on April the 21st, the last time that she ran. And she's the number 8 in here. I thought it was kind of a weird race because she has a good start. She's drawn to the outside here. Again, she's fast. So we know she has speed because, look, she's right on the lead. The problem is she can't get over when there's 3 other horses that are all showing speed, and the 7 was equally as quick as her, in the second and third spots. So now she ends up taking back a little bit, and it looks like Miss Polo Bar is sitting a perfect trip. She's sitting 4th here, but she ends up kind of backing up even more a bit. She's about 4 lengths off, still in a fine spot. She's out in the 2 path. What ends up happening is she gets caught down to the inside. So now as she's moving up outside, she's able to get to the rail, and it puts her in a tough spot. Because right now you see the 8, she's looming up into 3rd. She's on the inside. She's up into contention. She doesn't have anywhere to go right here. She kind of tries to move to the inside, but she can't get through. She sort of has to take up, wait. Now there's a little bit more room, so she sort of stays there, but she lost her momentum when it was really building up nicely. And for a lot of horses, it's really tough to re-rally and come on again. You can see she just sort of keeps up to that one-paced run, but I think she lost her best chance. I wouldn't be shocked if she shows a little more speed here because we've seen that from her before. She's now going to be a little fitter with the 2 races under her. I think it's a good spot for Miss Polo Bar, who we've seen she can pass some horses and sort of loom up, but she also has speed. The number 6, Miss Polo Bar, 6-1 on the morning line. I would take anything over 4 plus or so. Let's look at Santa Anita. The rest of the card, I couldn't really find big value. Every horse that I was really looking at or thought was going to be pretty tough is probably going to be a shortish price. Everly's Girl, I thought, looks like the one to beat on the cutback. Maybe a horse that you build some exotics around. I probably don't be a big enough price for me to bet individually. The 7th race, I sort of felt similar. It looks like a good spot for Real Fire. I just want a little more than we're going to get on her from a price standpoint. The April 22nd race was really good. And then she just got hooked wide on May the 7th. She was 4 wide. She was within 2 lengths. She was about 5th, and she was just behind the top group. But the winner of that race saved all the ground and tipped out. But before that May 7th race, if we're looking at either of the 2 sprint races, they'd be very good, and they would fit really well with these. Gritty Girl, Perfect's Pride, Professor's Pride, Paleo's Princess in here. It looks like there's enough speed. You got the 1. You've got the 7 should be forwardly placed. The 8 should be. So this race will set up better for a horse like Real Fire. It's just, again, are we getting enough value for the horse who I think is really well spotted? I wouldn't want to take any shorter than 7-2. So there's a little look at Santa Anita for Friday. I think there was one horse in the 8th race, or was it the 9th? I guess it was the 9th that I can at least mention if you're playing any type of late exotics. I do think that Keen to Go is a horse who I may, if I was playing any sort of late exotics, I might single this horse on one ticket. Coming into the Jeff Mullins barn, this is a first-time gelding who comes off of a race that was a strange race where they went really, really fast. He's actually come out of some races where they've gone very, very quick, going longer. And the mile and an eighth is no problem for this guy. He just needs a little bit of help up front, needs a little bit of pace. I think he will get that in here. Keen to Go. We'll be building some exotics around there. So we'll look at Friday Santa Anita. Remember, drf.com daily racing form is the place to go for all of your past performances. If you sign up for DRF bets and you deposit $250, they'll give you a match deposit bonus plus a $10 free bet. Use that promo code WINNING, and you can get these formulator past performances for free. What they'll do is they'll give you 10 of them right off the bat, and then every time you bet 50, you get another free formulator card. Check out all the details there. Good luck this